Hello and welcome. Welcome to the DP203, that is data engineering on the Microsoft Azure public cloud. I hope that all of you are safe and healthy at your places, and we hope that we are all connected. We have a nice quorum of 22 wonderful participants joining us over here, and this is our day one of our live classes, right? So this is I, Aman, Microsoft certified trainer and an Azure technical trainer at Microsoft. And I'm extremely happy rather to be given this opportunity to be with you for the next wonderful sessions that we will have, right? And we have these 3-hour sessions that we will be conducting in order to help you understand the products that Microsoft has to pitch to you regarding the data engineering solutions. So this is data engineering in Microsoft Azure. This course is officially brought to you by Microsoft, the worldwide learning team, and the curriculum preparation team has built this course to be driven and aligned with the DP203 certification examination. So you all know that in the data and the AI track of the Microsoft Azure certifications, we have a lot of wonderful certifications, right? You have certifications like Data Scientist Associate, Data Engineering Associate, Data Analyst Associate, Database Administrator Associate, and so on and so forth. You have so many wonderful stacks to master in the Azure. So this course is aligned with Data Engineer Associate, which is one of the most highly sought for examinations by the professionals across the globe, right? So this is data engineering, and let's get started to understand what's the kind of a makeup of this course is and how are we going to drive this course and the administration of this course. So again, I welcome you all to DP203T00. That is the code of the course, data engineering on Microsoft Azure public cloud. The agenda of our initial talk is to let you understand that what is the content of this course, and also give you a link so that you can keep a bookmark of all our official courseware discussions that we will be carrying out. Please understand that this course is aligned with the certification. The curriculum of this course is designed by Microsoft. So as per the MCT agreements, I will have to deliver mandatorily the Microsoft curriculum. But we will also give you the freedom and the flexibility to ask questions and topics that are even outside this curriculum. But those will obviously be answered offline, because our time that we have in our sessions is aligned with the course, and any kind of a discussion or any kind of a detailed topics that you would like to know which are outside the curriculum will 100% be answered, and you will be given proper explanations and support on them offline, right, outside the online call. So you should not think that we are only going to just learn a curriculum, but rather we're going to be learning technology, we're going to be learning the products, right? So as far as the course is concerned, we will have to drive it officially as per the MCT's material, but you have the freedom to go outside the dimensions of the course and think about these products, because the main aim is to basically go ahead and realize these products in the solutions. So we'll be talking about what this course is all about. We shall also be talking about the intended audience, right? Sometimes people without proper hands-on experience that is equivalent to DP900 fundamental, just one day. If you do not even know anything on the Azure and you invest 8 hours only a single day, you are at par to attend this course. So who is the intended audience? Intended audience would be individuals who have gone through at least the basics, okay? So DP900 material would be the prerequisite. Then we shall talk about the agenda of the course, right? We will talk about what are the salient technologies that we are wishing to learn about here, right? So you might already know, if you have gone through a little bit of the curriculum, that we should be talking about various storage services, like you would have data lake storages, databases, right? A data warehousing primarily, because this course, as we shall see, as it will evolve in the future, we would be doing descriptive analytics, that too aligned with business intelligence and decision support systems. So we will be learning about decision support systems, how do we build them, and the business intelligence systems, how do we architect them and how do we realize them on the Azure platform. And we shall also be making sure that various wonderful products that Microsoft want you to learn and obviously use them subsequently in your architectures are appropriately done. We shall also talk about prerequisites. Obviously, you should carry a little bit of background, otherwise you can learn, but obviously then there will be a steep learning curve. You will have to invest more time to familiarize and make yourself comfortable. So yes, what are the prerequisites? So let's continue. What is this course really all about? This course is about descriptive analytics. You all have understood in DP 900 5 different kinds of analytics. You have learned about descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics essentially tells you about the past and the present, just tells you about what happened in the past, what is currently happening in the present. If you do that, that's called as a descriptive analytics. So your data analysts who typically draw all these Power BI reports and dashboards and whatnot, right? They essentially are doing descriptive analytics. They are trying to tell us, given the data of the past and the present, what's currently happening and what has happened in the past, right? They present that through a model in a proper way, right? In your visual way, right? So pie charts, line charts, maps, and so on and so forth, rich visualizations. Descriptive analytics. Similarly, when they draw all these conclusions using these descriptive analytic systems like your reports, dashboards, and whatnot, the data sits in a clean format in a data warehouse typically, right? Because they want a nice, clean, tabular model from which they could derive these measures and key performance indicators that they are showing you on the dashboards. So when you do all these business intelligence things, and then subsequently when these reports and dashboards are being given to the decision makers like CEOs, CFOs, CXO level people who take decisions by looking at these reports, behind the scene, the back end of these reports from where they are being developed are essentially a clean, structured tabular model. And that's what we typically call as a data warehouse or a data mart. Hence, in order to do reporting, visualizations, dashboarding, essentially measures, key performance indicators, and reporting all these critical numbers to the decision makers, hence to develop decision support systems, we need to learn how do we develop data warehouses, right? How do you take the raw data, how do you massage that raw data and bring it to a form and a shape that is put to the data warehouse and then subsequently used in reporting. So this course, right, essentially is about descriptive analytics, whereas you have also learned about other forms of analytics like predictive analytics, right? That which you do in data science and machine learning. That is, you take the data and you try to fit an equation to that data. That's called as a prediction function. And that prediction function is created by putting that data into some kind of a machine learning algorithm. So let us say you have some data, you put it into some algorithm like a regression or your decision trees, right? Decision trees. So you put all those data in those machine learning algorithms and the algorithm gives you something which is called as a prediction function, which we loosely call as a model. And that basically is an equation that has been fitted to the data of the company. And what's the benefit of that equation is that you can use that equation to do predictions, right? You could tell about the future. Okay, so that also assists the decision support people, that is the CEOs and CFOs, in making their decisions, isn't it? Which is they go ahead of time, right? They go faster than their competitors. They become business leaders rather than business laggers, right? They're not looking at past data, but they're using the past data to do some predictions in the future, right? So that what gives them the edge in the business. So yes, you have predictive analytics. You also have learned about cognitive analytics, that is artificial intelligence. So when you use machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning to design essentially your intelligent agents, agents that are capable as if they are capable as human beings, right? So we are very good at vision recognition, face detection, speech, transcriptions, translations, sentiment analysis, emotionals, APIs, right? So there are some certain things that this nature has given us, which is very hard to make it artificially or synthetically, right? But we in the world of computing have been trying to do this AI kind of a thing, artificial intelligence, try to mimic the human intelligence. So if an electronic system like that of a computer tries to mimic the human intelligence, we call it as an intelligent agent. And if you try to do that with the data, you essentially are developing cognitive analytics, which is nothing but, let's take an example of a chatbot. Okay, take an example of a chatbot, which is a conversational AI, conversational artificial intelligence, right? And that's nothing but cognitive analytics. Then you have other forms as well: diagnostic analytics, prescriptive analytics. So there are 5 pillars of analytics: descriptive, predictive, cognitive, prescriptive, and diagnostic. So in the world of analytics, we look at different ways of deriving analytics for different business use cases. But this course is about descriptive analytics, that is decision support systems backed by a warehousing technology, right? So in this course, you will learn about various kinds of data engineering patterns and practices. So we shall be learning about Lambda architecture, Delta architecture, Delta Lake architecture. We'll be talking about modern data warehousing patterns, lake house patterns, right? Various practices pertaining to automations, mapping data flow technology, and so on and so forth. So as the course will evolve in future, you will see that we're going to be having a lot of wonderful things coming at our disposal, and it is going to paint a picture in front of you, which will give you a widespread thought about the technology that Microsoft wishes to portray. Working with batch and real-time mode of analytical solutions. And here the analytical solution means descriptive analytical solution. We are not talking here about data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence. No, we are not talking about this. This course is about descriptive analytics. So you're going to be looking at how do you take data in the batches and you process that. How do you take data that is on the fly, that is real time, and how you process that. So when the modules shall come, then we will pay more careful attention to them. But at this moment, we would say that yes, we will look at the batch mode of analytical solution built up, because certain processes are batchy only, right? You cannot do without batch. And real time also, temporal analytics, complex event processing, simple event processing. So we'll be talking about those as well. And our focus is on the Azure Data Platform technologies. Okay, so although there are so many wonderful products floating around in the data platform stack, right? But we are enrolled in a course where we want to understand the data platform of Azure, DP, data platform, right? So this is DP 203, data platform 203. So we want to learn about the data platform technologies. Now, I would like to make a very crucial point at this moment. The data platform, the Redmond team that is at Microsoft, initially, if you remember, we used to call SQL Server as the data platform, right? So when Ray Ozzie was the principal architect at Microsoft, we used to say that SQL Server is just the data platform. But now we have come to the time, we are living in that time where the breadth and the depth of the data platform is extremely vast. If you are a professional who has proper depth and breadth on the data platform of the Microsoft Azure stack, then you are extremely rare. Some people have depth but little breadth. Some people have more breadth but little depth. They are shallow. If you are depth as well as breadth in your data platform practice and understanding, you are a very rare professional, right? And this course and the supplementary materials that I will be sharing you, my aim as my duty is as a Azure technical trainer is to make sure that you achieve both of those goals. We don't want you to be shallow and wide, neither do we want you to be depth and narrow, right? Deep and narrow. So we want you to be deep and wide, right? So which means you need to get proper breadth and proper depth in your understanding of this data platform. Then only you are different from others, right? If you don't do that, you're not different from others, right? The value depends on how rare you are, right? Okay, so students will begin by understanding some core compute and storage technologies. So if you build any data platform solution on the Microsoft Azure platform, you will be leveraging some storage technologies like binary large object storages, file storages, table storages, data lake storage, very crucial, databases of various natures, open source databases, proprietary databases of Microsoft licensed products, relational products, non-relational products, unstructured products, which means as per your needs and requirements, which we technically call as polyglot persistence, right? So as per your needs and requirements of a solution, that is polyglot persistence, you will have to leverage different kind of storage technologies. Similarly, you also need compute services because you're going to have to crunch that data, right? You have to basically torture the data, right? So because if you torture the data enough, it's gonna tell you whatever you want to know from it, right? So compute services would be needed. So a lot of compute services are at your disposal. Most popular ones are Azure Databricks, Synapse Analytics, the compute section of Synapse Analytics. We will come to more discussions on Synapse Analytics. Synapse Analytics is a very wide service, but it is also a compute solution. So Synapse Analytics, Azure Databricks, Azure HD Insight Clusters, which is big data as a service. Although this course does not talk about that HD Insight, because more popular than HD Insight is obviously your Databricks, right? So we're going to be talking about in this course about Databricks, the value, because we need more value, right? So we'll be talking about Databricks, Synapse Analytics, and if you look at your side of real time, then you have things like stream analytics, structured streaming API of Spark, right? So yes, so we have a lot of compute services that also need our careful attention because data has to be massaged, data has to be prepared, enriched, transformed, so that it can be used for downstream applications, isn't it? And our aim is to build a descriptive analytical system, which is essentially your data warehouse and data marts, which on the more technical front is a decision support system, right? They will then explore how to design an analytical serving layer. Now, this analytical serving layer is a technical term for data warehouse, because data warehouse is what is used in the serving life cycle, in the serving stages of your data. It is through the clean, structured models of your data warehouse, which you call as dimensional models, isn't it? So in our warehouses, we keep our dimensional models. So dimensional models, through the dimensional model, how do you serve your clean, structured warehouse data, right? So we'll be talking about, you already might have heard about snowflakes, right? You would have seen about the various kinds of dimensional models that are there in the data warehouses, right? Star schema, constellations, snowflakes, and so on and so forth. We will also talk about some other data engineering considerations pertaining to source files. We know that Parquet format, we'll talk about it later, not right now, right? Is what is the de facto standard of big data analytics, right? The Databricks company has heavily invested in making Parquet the de facto standard of big data analytical processing. Similarly, you also have some other file formats like JSON, JavaScript object notation, CSV, TSV, TXT, flat delimited files, XML, extensible markup languages, Parquet, Avro, binary JSON. So there are various kinds of source files that also deserve your careful attention, because you'd be dealing with them. So when we shall come to that topic, we will talk about them, that what are the considerations that you should remember about such source files, and which of them are flat in nature, which of them are hierarchical in nature. For instance, CSV, TSV are flat files, JSON, XML, YML, they are hierarchical files, right? What type of files have schema information in them? What are the file types that don't have any schema information in them, and so on and so forth. So when we shall come to that, we'll discuss that. The students will also learn how to then go and interactively explore data stored in something called as a lake of the organization. Now we will talk about lakes today, what we really mean by lakes, why do we need them, and even there is a full guide on how do you design lakes for an organization, right? Obviously, data engineering has lot of tentacles flowing in various directions, right? No talk of 3 hours, 4 hours is sufficient to go into all the details, but I will be keep on sharing with you lot of supplementary material that in case you want to do some formal kind of a learning, you should read them, because they will then assist you in going into more depth of the modeling. So yes, we'll talk about how do you design lakes. And lake is a massive volume of data, right? It's not gigabytes or terabytes, it's maybe even petabytes. So how do you go ahead and understand what is meaningful, what is valuable for you? Everything might not be valuable in the lake. So you need to do ad hoc analytics on it. You need to mine it. You need to interactively do some SQL based explorations or Spark based explorations on it to understand the business value of the data kept inside the lake. And then subsequently take a strategy to basically leverage it for some business value for your business team. Right? So that's the thing. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so in just various ingestion techniques, data stored in a lake. There we will also learn about various ingestion techniques, because eventually by now you would have gotten little idea that eventually we have to take our data to the warehouse, right? Eventually we have to take our data to the warehouse somehow. So how do you ingest the data into the warehouse? So ingestion techniques that can be used to load data using the Spark capability. So that's one of the way. Okay, Apache Spark capability. That's one of the way to basically ingest the data into the Synapse Analytics warehouses, or even Databricks using something called as a PySpark connector, right? So there is something called as a PySpark connector through which you can take the data from Databricks and load it to the Synapse Analytics data warehouses. So we shall talk about that. And that is very crucial, right? Those things are what you would be tested in case you go for some interviews, right? People are going to ask you, have you done these ETL jobs and have you extracted from here, transformed in here, and then loaded it into the warehouses in Synapse? How did you do that? What was your technology choices? Right? And then some scenarios of the data sizes and all those. So they're going to be testing you on that front. The students will also learn about factory and Synapse pipelines. Okay, so automation is basically the need of the modern world, right? Everyone wants to enjoy on the beaches. No one wants to sit in front of a device and then do manual work, right? So if the device could do it while you are enjoying on the beaches, why don't do that, right? So Data Factory, Synapse, they are basically automation orchestration technologies, and we shall be talking about them as well. The students will also learn various ways they can transform the data. Obviously, you will never get the data in the real world, which is in the form and a shape that you need it to need for downstream applications, right? So when you do not get the data in the form and a shape that you need it for downstream applications, you will have to learn how to massage it, how to cleanse it, how to impute it, right? How to basically bring it to the form and a shape that you need it to be in for downstream applications, right? So we'll be talking about transformation technologies, primarily using Spark and SQL. Okay, okay. So students will also spend time on monitoring and analyzing the performance. So we all know that there is no value in an effective system. No one wants just an effective system. If you have built an effective system, you are great, you are good. But if you have built an effective and efficient system, then you are great, right? So if you only build an effective system, it is good. It does the work that it is intended to do. But if it does it efficiently, right, that's what's called as a great solution. Without monitoring and analyzing the performance, you would not be able to build efficient system. You may be able to build effective system, but not efficient. So we'll be learning about monitoring layer, analysis layer on top of the performance. Performance only for loading, right? We are at this moment not concerned about reporting performance, ad hoc analytical performance, because they have other dimensions. So if you go to business intelligence courses like PL300, there you will see they will talk about reporting performance, ad hoc analytical performance, because they are more towards data analyst perspective. For us, the performance of your ETL jobs are more uh, important, because you will have an SLA on an ETA job. You will say that certain kind of a volume of a data will we provide you the SLA of these many hours and so on and so forth. So you will have to see how is the performance of your ETL, right? So particularly of the loads, right? So we are talking about loads over here. Optimize the performance of data loads or queries are that are issued against the systems, right? So we'll be talking about that. Now, please remember that this course has 11 mandatory lab articles and some more challenge articles, right? So in those challenge articles, certain points from this are discussed in those challenge articles, and it is highly recommended for interested individuals to not only finish the mandatory work but also take the challenges, right? We would be there to assist you in your challenge completions, but you have to take challenges as well, right? Right. Okay, so that's also a point. They will also understand security, right? So when you trust your data to be put onto a third-party cloud vendor, right? Your data of your clients put in somewhere in the East US or some other data center region, you're trusting it on some third party. So security becomes paramount. Rest, in transit, in use. So we shall pay thorough and careful attention about security as well in our products. And last but not the least, dashboarding and predictive analytics. Now this is challenge articles. The last point, that how do you develop dashboards using your Power BI service and Power BI workspaces? That's a challenge article. And then predictive modeling using Synapse. Now, Synapse per se is not for predictive modeling. It is for predictive cognitive enrichment of the data. What do we mean by that? We will come to the topic, we will discuss it. Right now, it's not a time for me to explain these things in more greater detail, but to bring into perspective the thoughts, the feel of the course. What are we really trying to do in here, right? So yes, there is some footprint of predictive cognitive enrichments in this course, but this course is not going to teach you how to build models, right? Predictive models, that's what I'm saying, right? So you're not going to be learning machine learning and data science here. For that, you're going to have to go to DP 100 or AI 102. Those are the two courses that you can look in case you want to go over there. So this is a little bit of the synopsis of the course. I spent good amount of time over here because if you understood the theme of the course, the idea of this course, the aim of this course, that what this course really wants you to gather, then the next weeks that you would be attending the classes, hopefully, or looking at the recordings in case you're not able to, you will see the theme running and stitching all these pieces together. And our aim would be to gather product knowledge, right? And practice is mandatory. Practice makes a man and a woman perfect. Let me be gender neutral, otherwise people gonna message me on LinkedIn, right? That you said only man, right? Sometimes it happens, right? I was in one of the Microsoft training and I used this very popular phrase that practice makes man perfect. So next day I got a message, hey, you should also say woman. So I then started adding that. So practice makes a man and a woman perfect, right? Everyone perfect. So we're gonna have to do practice, okay? So the K21 team shall provide you how to set up the lab environments and you'd be able to conduct your practice. I will also be sharing you free of cost practice exercises that you should do with your sandboxes, and I will show you how you can set up sandboxes for practice. Please remember, this is our day one. Right on the day one, I would like to let you know that more your face time with Azure, that is the portal itself, the products themselves. If you increase your face time with the product, you'd be able to have a good relationship with Azure. That's how those counseling people say, relationship counseling people, increase your face time, right? So if you increase your face time with Azure, you'll be very comfortable. But if you're only going to see me doing or read only the things, right? So we cannot drive like Tom Cruise just by watching him drive, right? We're gonna have to grab the bike and drive like him, practice to drive like him, right? So we're gonna have to basically practice, okay? So yes, so those are the themes of this course. Now let's quickly move forward. So module 0, that's what we are doing at this moment. Module 1, we're going to talk about these core compute and storage technologies. That's what we are going to do today. Hopefully we have time and we will be looking at that, okay? I'm not going to read all of these, right? All these lessons, these are just kept in here for reference. As we will move forward in our modules, you will see all these getting covered. Module 2 is about serverless SQL pool technology. Excuse me. Module 3 is about Databricks, basics of it. Okay. Right now, don't go into too much detail of these lessons because when we will be learning them, they will be uncovered, right? Uncovered, not covered, uncovered. Uncovered means we're going to remove the curtain from it, right? Module 4, ETL, using Spark and Synapse. How do we do that? Module 4 is the pivot of this course, okay? That's where the real game happens, and from there starts the real action, right? So module 4 is what you should be keeping a watch on. Module 5, designing the warehouse. How do you design the warehouse? Module 7, orchestration layers. Module 6, basically the data factory and Synapse pipelining, data integration and orchestration. Now, please remember that these are very vast products, factory, Synapse pipelines. So they have dimension of practice. You will have to practice more. Okay. Module 7, we will learn about a very popular thing which is called as a dispatch activity, if you have heard about it. Dispatch activity, right? Module 8, security, right? If you look at, so when we do any kind of a consultancy call, right, we prepare all these wonderful slides. I will speak these slides, then you're gonna come, you're gonna speak these slides, we're gonna pitch the product like this. But if the client has brought in some intelligent people on the call, those intelligent people gonna ask you questions about security, right? So security is very important because when people bring their solutions to public cloud, and you know public cloud is exposed to internet, the basic definition of cloud computing is a utility model of IT services delivered through the public internet, right? So when you're delivering these services through public internet, security becomes paramount importance, right? So yes, so if intelligent people are sitting in front of you, they're going to ask you good amount of questions on security, right? So, but you should remember that we are not becoming here a CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, right? That's basically years and years of work if you do in the domain of security then. But our aim would be to basically make sure that if we are sitting in some kind of a design session with clients, whiteboarding, architectural whiteboarding sessions with the client, we will have security individuals sitting along with us, security experts, SecOps people, and all those security operations people. But if a question is fired towards me as a data engineer, so they say, hey, you are going to deploy for us this product which is called as Synapse Analytics. Does it support out of the box something called as a double level encryption? We have to be compliant with healthcare information protection regulations. And under that regulation, we want customer double level encryptions to be done of our Synapse workspaces. So does your Synapse workspace support that? So I don't have to look at the face of the security operations people. This is I have to answer, right? Because it's a Synapse they're asking about. I will say, yes, it supports. This is how we do it. But who will do it is SecOps people. But we have to know that, yes, these features are there and these features can be leveraged as per your requirements, right? So we are not going to become a CISO or a SecOps people. We are going to become security aware. We need to know the knobs and the switches and the controls of security. So I'm spending time here again because if you are a practitioner, if you're a consultant, that would be again a very crucial pillar to remember about and have comfort in. Module 9 is a value addition module. It will help you learn about something called as HTAP, hybrid transactional and analytical processing. It's a very technical thing. If you read the book Han, Camber and Pye Data Mining, you have a lot of research papers written on it. We are not going to look at it from that perspective. Microsoft has made it so easy. Just within a few clicks of the button, you can realize HTAP. Okay, so we'll learn about how do you do HTAP with just few clicks of buttons, right? and we will learn about it. How do you do it? Module 10 and 11 are invested towards real-time stream processing. So simple event processing, complex event processing, micro batching, okay, structured streaming. All those are the topics under this dimensional module 10 and 11, real time. So yes, the course is extremely diverse. The course is extremely vast again, but is very interesting.
So guys, if you liked our video, then do give us a thumbs up. But if you really want to learn more about the particular topic we discussed, then we have something really special for you. We have our free class on Microsoft Azure Data Engineer certification, that is DP203, along with some question and answers, where we'll be discussing about why is everyone working on data, importance of some Azure services you should learn, and many more things. So for that, all you have to do is just log on to K21Academy.com/Azure DE02, and after that you'll be seeing a screen like this. Just click on book your free seat now. Select your event date whenever you're available. Reserve your spot by adding your name, your email address, and your phone number, and you'll be getting all the updates via mail. You'll be seeing this kind of window on extreme right, so you can save this link, add to your calendars, and I'll see you in the free class. Till then, keep hustling and take care.